Three students are discussing whether universities should require students to complete community service hours to graduate.
I think it would be great if the university made community service a graduation requirement. It encourages students to give back to the community and gain real-world experience outside the classroom. Through volunteering, students can develop soft skills like communication and teamwork that aren't always taught in lectures. Volunteering at the local food bank last year really opened my eyes to social issues I hadn't thought about before.
I completely agree. It's not just about helping others. It also helps students develop empathy and practical skills. These experiences often lead to personal growth and broader perspectives on societal challenges. Many students get so focused on academics that they forget there's a whole world outside campus. Structured community service could balance that out.
I see your point, but I'm not sure making it mandatory is the right approach. Some students are already overwhelmed with coursework, part-time jobs, and personal responsibilities. Adding mandatory service hours might lead to rushed or low-quality participation just to meet the requirement. Forcing them to add volunteer hours might just create more stress. Shouldn't volunteering come from genuine interest, not obligation?
That's a fair concern, but the university could offer flexible options, weekend projects, one-time events, or even virtual volunteering. They could also create a database of approved opportunities with varying time commitments. The goal isn't to burden students, but to expose them to meaningful experiences they might not seek out on their own.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. Even 20 hours per semester could make a difference. Short-term projects like neighborhood cleanups or tutoring sessions can be both manageable and impactful. Many students end up enjoying it once they try it. I know I did.
I understand, but I still worry it might feel like a checkbox exercise rather than genuine engagement. When students are forced to volunteer, they often focus on completing hours rather than making meaningful contributions. Maybe instead of requiring it, the university could incentivize volunteering, like offering course credit or recognition on transcripts, so students are motivated but not forced.
That's a thoughtful compromise. Encouraging rather than mandating could still promote participation without adding pressure. A well-designed incentive system could recognize those who contribute while respecting everyone's circumstances.
Plus, it would allow students to choose causes they truly care about. Personal interest leads to more dedicated and effective service in the long run. That way, the experience is more meaningful for everyone involved.
Yeah, I could get behind that. If it's designed to be supportive rather than strict, it might actually work. I'd be much more willing to participate if I could find opportunities aligned with my interests and schedule.
3 students are discussing whether social media does more harm than good to university students.
Have you noticed how much time we all spend on social media every day? I think it's become a real problem. It's distracting, affects mental health, and keeps people from having real conversations. I've seen people cancel plans just to stay home and scroll through feeds, which really worries me.
I totally agree. A lot of students end up comparing themselves to others online, which just makes them anxious or unhappy. Not to mention how easy it is to waste hours scrolling instead of studying or actually hanging out with friends. Just last week, I lost 3 hours watching random videos when I should have been finishing an essay.
Actually, I don't see it that way. Social media helps me stay connected with friends from home, join student groups, and even find academic opportunities. It's all about how you use it. It can be a tool, not just a distraction. For example, I found my current research assistant position through a LinkedIn post from my department.
I get that, but the algorithms are designed to keep you hooked. Even if you start with good intentions, it's easy to fall into endless scrolling. And don't forget about privacy issues or misinformation. Once you click on one controversial topic, your feed gets flooded with similar content. It's hard to escape.
Yeah, and it often replaces face-to-face interaction. I've seen people sitting together in the cafe, everyone on their phone instead of talking. It kind of defeats the purpose of being on campus, doesn't it? We're losing the ability to read body language and have deep, spontaneous conversations.
I understand the concerns, but banning or overly criticizing social media isn't the answer. We should focus on digital literacy, teaching people how to use these platforms responsibly. It's part of modern life, and we need to learn to navigate it. We could host student-led workshops on setting boundaries and curating a positive online experience.
That's a fair point. Maybe the issue isn't social media itself, but how we use it. If used intentionally, it doesn't have to be negative. But without proper education, most people won't use it intentionally. They'll just consume.
True. Balance and self-control are key. Maybe the university could offer workshops on healthy digital habits instead of just telling us to log off. Learning to use tech mindfully is a skill, just like time management or critical thinking.
Now that's something I could support. Guidance is better than restriction. Let's make technology work for us, not against us. Maybe we can propose a digital wellness week through the student union to raise awareness.
3 students are discussing whether to take early morning classes next semester at the campus coffee shop.
Have you guys planned your class schedule for next term? I'm thinking about taking 3 8 a.m. classes. I know it sounds early, but I actually love getting my classes done first thing in the morning. It leaves my afternoons completely free for studying or extracurricular activities.
I'm with you on that. I took 2 morning classes this semester and found I'm much more productive in the early hours. There are fewer distractions and I can focus better. Plus, finishing early means I have the whole day ahead of me.
Actually, I avoid early classes whenever possible. I signed up for an 8 a.m. lecture last semester and ended up sleeping through half of them. I'm just not functional that early, no matter how early I go to bed. My grades suffered because of it.
That's interesting because I have the opposite experience. I find that starting my day early helps me stay organized and disciplined. The campus is so peaceful in the morning, and I actually enjoy walking to class with fewer people around.
Same here. I've noticed that professors who teach morning classes tend to be more energetic and engaged too. The classes feel more focused and there are fewer students, so we get more individual attention.
I understand the benefits, but it's just not worth the struggle for me. I learn better in the afternoon and evening classes when I'm fully awake and alert. Forcing myself to wake up early just leaves me tired all day and affects my performance in other classes.
I see your point, but for me, the routine is worth it. Having a fixed schedule helps me maintain better study habits throughout the day. I'm more likely to use my time productively when I start early. Plus, research shows that our brains are often most alert during the morning hours, which helps with retaining complex information.
And think about the practical advantages. You can schedule appointments or part-time work in the afternoon without missing classes. The flexibility is really helpful for balancing different commitments. Many employers also appreciate students with morning availability, which opens up more job opportunities.
I guess we all have different rhythms. I've opted for classes starting from 10 a.m. instead. That gives me time to properly wake up, have breakfast, and review materials before lectures. It works much better for my learning style. Understanding your natural sleep-wake cycle is crucial for academic success, and fighting against it usually does more harm than good.
3 students are discussing whether to study abroad for a semester.
Have you guys thought about applying for the exchange program next year? I'm seriously considering spending a semester in Seoul. It would be amazing to experience a different education system and culture while earning credits.
I actually decided against it. My older sister did an exchange program last year and said it was really disruptive to her degree progress. Some of her credits didn't transfer properly, and she had to take extra classes to graduate on time.
I've already submitted my application. The cultural immersion aspect is what excites me most. Imagine learning Spanish while actually living in Madrid instead of just in a classroom. The university offers great support with housing and course selection too.
That's exactly why I want to go. Beyond academics, it's those unexpected moments, like trying authentic local food or making friends from around the world, that really shape you. My cousin said her semester in Japan completely changed her perspective.
I understand the appeal, but I'm worried about missing out on campus life here. All my friends are staying, and there are several department events next year that I don't want to miss. Plus, the additional costs for travel and living expenses are quite significant.
Actually, the financial aid office said most scholarships still apply during exchange semesters. And think about the long-term benefits. International experience looks great to future employers and helps you stand out in grad school applications.
That's a good point about career development. I've heard many students return with improved language skills and greater confidence. The independence you gain from navigating daily life in another country seems invaluable. These are life skills that you simply can't learn from textbooks or in a traditional classroom setting.
I guess I'm just more comfortable focusing on building strong connections here. The thought of adjusting to a completely new academic system halfway through my degree feels more stressful than exciting to me. Sometimes the best growth happens right where you're planted, through deepening existing relationships and commitments.
Fair enough. But for those willing to embrace the challenge, it could be the most memorable part of our university experience. I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone for that kind of growth. The connections you make with people from different backgrounds can lead to lifelong friendships and professional networks that span the globe.
Exactly. Even if there are some administrative hurdles, I think personal and academic rewards make it worth pursuing. I'm going to meet with the exchange advisor tomorrow to learn more.
3 students are discussing whether to join student clubs next semester.
Hey, have you guys thought about which clubs to join next term? I'm considering signing up for a couple, maybe the debate team and the photography society. I really want to meet people outside my major. Last year, joining the hiking club was amazing. I made so many friends during weekend trips.
Actually, I've decided not to join any clubs this year. I was part of the dance club last semester, and it took up way too much time. Rehearsals were twice a week, often until late, and it started affecting my grades. I'd rather focus on my studies and maybe pick up a part-time job instead.
I'm definitely joining at least one club. For me, it's not just about socializing, it's about building skills. I was in the robotics club last year, and I learned so much about project management and teamwork. Plus, it looks great on my CV.
That's a good point. I also think clubs help you develop soft skills, like how to communicate better and work in a group. And it's not all serious. Sometimes it's just fun. Like in the hiking club, we ended up telling stories around campfires. Those were my best memories from last year.
I get that, but I often find club activities repetitive and poorly organized. A lot of time was wasted in meetings that could have been emails. I'd rather use that time to relax alone or hang out with a few close friends.
I see what you mean, but I've had the opposite experience. The robotics club was super well run, and we even got to compete nationally. It gave me a real sense of achievement. I don't think I would have had that opportunity if I hadn't joined.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right club. I guess it depends on your interests and how the club is managed. But for me, the social and personal growth aspects are totally worth the time. It's really helped me become more confident and outgoing in general. Plus, being part of a community makes campus feel smaller and more like home.
Well, I'm happy with my decision to sit this one out. I prefer having control over my schedule. Last year, I always felt rushed trying to balance club events with assignments. Sometimes saying no is the best way to protect your mental health and academic goals. Knowing your limits is just as important as pushing your boundaries.
That's fair, but for anyone looking to gain more than just academic knowledge, I'd really recommend giving clubs a try. You might be surprised what you can learn outside the classroom. Even just attending a few meetings can open doors to new interests and connections you never expected. It's not just about padding your resume, it's about discovering what you're truly passionate about.